Well, I'm happy to bring you this week's forecast. You can see some raindrops, but they are going to be well east of the Cleveland area, and it's going to be scattered. So most of you will have dry conditions pretty much throughout the state, but by the third and fourth quarters, the temperature is expected to drop into the low 30s. So get that extra blanket with you and maybe that extra layer as you head in to week number 1 of the playoffs. Welcome back to the Ohio High School Kickoff Show. I'm your host, Mike Cairns. It's been 81 years since John Hay has been in the Ohio High School football playoffs. Well, you know what? All things have to come to an end, and John Hay made it happen this year. They're in, and our Ashley Collins paid them a visit.
To finally be known as the team that made it to the playoffs ever in John Hay history is really big for all of us. It's just unbelievable for real. Like, it's just hard to swallow.
It's an honor just to be even called the first class to ever do it.
We wanted to make history this year. We wanted to make it to the playoffs. And what we needed to do was to make the goals and the procedures in order for us to get to the playoffs, which was working as a unit.
We ain't never had it before, and we always say, man, this our year, we gonna do something about it.
We're new. We've never been here before in the 83 years of John Hay High School. So this is a special year. I don't think our guys are gonna get caught up in that. We're just gonna enjoy the football game.
The Hornets defeated East Tech last week to clinch their first ever playoff berth in school history. And while there have been many who have doubted John Hay's ability along the way, the Hornets know the only ones they have to prove something to is themselves.
There are things that we can control, and there's things you can't control. And you're always going to have people that are going to doubt you and people that are going to, not think well of you, try to bring you down. But ultimately, we can control, our own mindset, our own attitude, our own preparation, and our own self-perception.
We as a team don't listen to that. We already know what we're capable of.
The only thing we need to prove anything to is to ourselves that we can do it, because we already proved to the doubters and the haters that we can do it, it's possible.
We have a confidence that ultimately we've done everything that we can, we know who we are, and ultimately that's our focus.
There is a first time for everything, and John Hay actually has a home game tonight as they get ready for the Ravens of Ravenna in Division III, Region 9. All right, let's head over into Division II, Region 7. The top team in the region, the Scotties at Tri-Valley, number 3 in the state as they get ready for Tecumseh in round number 1. On Friday night, their head coach, Justin Buttermore, joins us on the Rebel Wireless Coaches Hotline to talk some Scotties football. Coach, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes here this afternoon.
No problem. Thank you.
Congratulations on the unbeaten regular season. Let's take a step back to last year. You guys had an 11-win season, lost a heartbreaker to Marion Franklin. How much did that set you up for this season, and what did you have coming back that gave you some kind of vote of confidence that this could be another one of those potential type of runs this year?
Well, I think anytime you get to the regional final, I think it kind of leaves, and you don't get past it, it leaves a bad taste in your kid's mouth. So certainly we had a lot of kids that were motivated by last year and wanted to take another step. And we were fortunate to have a lot of kids coming back. That was a young group for us last year that made that run, a lot of juniors. And so as a result, we have some experienced players back and then some kids that remember what happened last year. And I think that's propelled us kind of to where we are this year.
Well, you're certainly building something there in your tenure. 4th straight playoff appearance, 6th overall. But this year, the offense has been extremely lethal, and you've really got both sides of the football playing very, very well. You're averaging better than 48 points a game, giving up about a touchdown a game defensively. Talk a little bit about some of the key playmakers, and you talked about some of the juniors who were impacted last year in that regional final, coming back this year and making some big plays for you.
Well, yeah, I think the biggest thing for us is we're pretty balanced. We have an exceptional quarterback in Nathan Strock that's a 3-year starter and a Kent State commit and has thrown for about 2,000 yards. And we have a great tailback as well. And it's rare that you have a year where you have both those kids. He's also, Austin Jones is a 3-year starter at tailback, and he has almost 1,500 yards. So I think the fact that we've been able to distribute the ball between those two guys and get some playmakers out on the perimeter too has allowed us to score a lot of points.
You know, coaches always talk about playing those extra weeks, and you guys played 3 extra weeks last year with the cast that you're talking about, especially those 2 key players that you just mentioned. How important was that when you go all the way back to those summer practices and those 2-a-days, knowing that these kids that got that experience are coming back and potentially going to be those big playmakers for you again this year?
Well, it makes you a lot more comfortable as a coach, I can tell you that. I mean, these kids that have been around the block, they've played 5 extra playoff games in their sophomore and junior year because they, like I said, a lot of them started as sophomores. So, you know, it gave us the mindset that we've been there before and that we had some confidence going in that these kids can at least go in and feel comfortable going into a playoff atmosphere.
Talk a little bit about your first-round matchup against Tecumseh.
Well, I think they're an extremely well-coached team, and they are, I told our kids, they distribute the ball around to a lot of people, and so there's not any one player that you can stop because they're a wing T system. But, you know, they have kids that play extremely hard. They run the ball really well, and their offensive line plays really low and gets off the ball really fast. I think they will be the best offensive line that we have faced all year, and I think the challenge for us is going to be getting off the field. They're a team that likes to get 3 and 4 yards a pop and then go for it on 4th and 1. So we've got to play good first down football and put our defense in good position for later down.
What's the atmosphere been like around that school, especially after completing a perfect regular season and then heading into the playoffs? And, you know, a lot of people are expecting big things based on what happened last year. I can only imagine it's got to be a great atmosphere going into tonight's game.
It really is. You know, the one thing that we're very fortunate about, and a lot of people, you know, maybe don't know where Dresden Tri-Valley is, but the one thing we are really, really fortunate about is that our community gives us great support. And they have throughout my 9-year tenure. They pack the stadium every week, and they're really excited. They treat these kids well. They treat our program very well, and so it's an exciting time for us.
Coach, best of luck, continued success there at Tri-Valley, and thanks for taking a couple minutes out of your day today to talk some Scotties football with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
There's head coach Justin Buttermore from the Scotties, the unbeaten Scotties of Tri-Valley, the #1 team in Region 7 as they get ready for Tecumseh tonight in a 1-8 matchup. Much more to come here on the fastest 90 minutes in high school football. My third amigo, Ryan Cavanaugh, joins us live from Westlake. They're getting ready for some playoff football there. That's coming up next when the Ohio High School Kickoff Show rolls on.